Hey guys, I wanted to relay my recent experience going to a wedding with you, explain a little bit about how my mental state was at the time and what happened, so I'm gonna jump right into it. Basically, the day started off on a pretty negative tone. I was trying to fit into a dress I'd worn last summer to a destination wedding. It's a size 2 dress. I barely fit into it last summer. This summer was a no-go, which is okay. I completely accept that because you don't gain weight overnight, but you also don't lose it overnight. So it was just really difficult for me because I had a full-blown anxiety attack. I was sweating, my heart was just like pounding. I was feeling so miserable. I was just taking out everything on myself. I wanted to just be like, go everyone, just leave. Honestly, I get the most anxiety when I feel like other people are depending on me, and everyone was there and ready for me, ready to basically leave and go to the event, and I was there just like not fitting into my dress. So thankfully I had another dress that fit just fine. So that worked out, but honestly, it was just very easy for me to be hard on myself and just to want everyone to go and just leave me and that I wasn't worth going with and blah blah blah. So I had a lot of like negative ruminations at that time. But now in retrospect, I can look back and say, well, duh, it barely fit last summer and you gain any weight, it's not gonna fit. And honestly, going from a size 2 to a size 4 is not a big deal. So, it's just the kind of thing that was frustrating, but thank God I had something that I fit into that I felt good in, and it was fine. So that was comforting at least. But that's how the whole thing started, and I remember just being in the car and being really shaky. My blood sugar was low. I hadn't eaten that much that morning just because it was so hot and I was nervous, which are two conditions that really are not going to make me want to eat any food. But I did have a green smoothie that morning and I had a banana on the way down, so that was good. So I got there, and honestly, the ceremony was really beautiful. It was a good time. Then we got to the reception hall, and I was still nervous, just trying, kind of like in terms of socializing and talking to people. So I had a couple of drinks to just like bring down my anxiety. And alcohol has always been, I wouldn't even say a love-hate relationship with me. It's been more like a neutral hate relationship for me. I've never loved alcohol. It's just something that it definitely does calm me down anxiety-wise. That is guaranteed, that is for sure. But the thing is, if I overdo it, it's very easy for me to transition into kind of like a negative, depressive mindset. Like, honestly, I could be feeling on cloud nine after a couple drinks, feeling great, and then somebody says, like, the wrong thing to me or something that upsets me, and then my mood just does a complete 180, and I feel bipolar in those moments. I really do. I feel like I'm like manic and euphoric and happy and all this, and then it just switches into this extremely depressive, like, I hate the world, everyone leave me alone, like, I want to die kind of mood. So that's why I don't really like alcohol. And honestly, the only times I drink these days are sometimes when I go over to Costa's parents and they have some wine. And then when my dad comes over, sometimes he would bring some beer, and I would, at first I'd have like half a beer, just because I like the taste. I'd have a little bit and then be like, okay, just, this isn't doing it for me anymore. And then he'd have some beer and Costa would have beer, but I just wouldn't touch it. And now lately when he comes over, he usually we don't buy beer as much and I just don't touch it. And he's not touching it because he's coming off of an anti-anxiety medication, and, Costa will have it sometimes. So really, it's just not a big part of my life at this point. It's just not something that I'm really interested in. So at the wedding, like, it was good because I had a bit of a buzz, but the problem is I crashed really hard because they were really sugary drinks, and I'm not used to added sugar that much anymore. And on top of that, I wasn't even eating that much food because I've been eating way more, like, vegan, and the animal products just weren't appealing to me. There they had, like, a lot of food with animal products. Of course, it's a big Greek wedding, like, nothing against that, but I just didn't have the desire to eat it. So just even with the little alcohol I was having at the beginning, it really just got me into this like mindset of it got me depressive after a while when I was having my sugar crash and everything. So I just wanted to talk about that because I spoke about alcohol like a long time ago on my channel, and I just realized now that I know myself so much better at this point, and I just know that alcohol has never been a good thing for me ever. Sometimes I will crave the taste of wine or beer, but as I'm the kind of person that can have like one drink and be satisfied, honestly. So that's never been a big issue for me. But at social events, you see everyone else drinking and having fun, and then I'm never like a happy drunk, never. So I don't drink that much because I just don't like the way I feel. And Costa like really let loose more than me, and he drank a lot and he had a good time. But I'm really happy because I kind of said to him at a certain point, you know, if you drink any more, like if you have any more shots, you're going to be really sick, and I don't mind taking care of you, but just remember what it feels like to have the spins and to be miserable. And he slowed down, and thankfully like he had a great time, but he didn't get sick the next day. But even with the alcohol I drank, like the next day, I was just not feeling well, you know. It's just my stomach was all like gurgly, and I just didn't feel healthy, so I had like a lot of fruit the next day. I actually bought some lychees from the Asian market, which are one of my favorite things in the world, and I just had a whole bunch of those, and that really cooled my stomach down. But like, I just never feel good, and I just don't want to feel that pressure anymore to eat what other people are eating or drink what other people are drinking just because that's what people are doing. And there should never be that pressure. And honestly, since, you know, I'm living on my own with Costa now, it's just so much easier to make better and healthier decisions. And I've really been just reaping the benefits of, you know, being in full control of what I put in my body. Of course, that was always the truth before, but I just felt so much pressure, you know, when you're living with family and other people, what they make, you feel like you have to eat it to be polite and to be a good person, and just so that they love and respect you. But that's not true, because you have to put yourself and your health first. And there's been a lot of instances when I've eaten things or I drank things that I knew were not good for me just because they were there, and I thought like, well, other people want to do it and I should be the same way. But honestly, you have to listen to what's right for you, you know. Like here, I have some strawberries that I'm just like casually snacking on, and they're so good, and that's what I want, you know. Sometimes I don't even have like a full proper meal anymore, which might sound bad, but sometimes I'll just have fruit as a meal because that's what I've been craving this summer, and it feels really good just to have that. But if I'm hungry, I'm going to eat, you know. I just like to be a little pickier over what I put in my body when it comes to food choices, alcohol choices, things like that. So I don't want to go too much off into a little rant about that, but also say that, like, I think it's really important, guys, to respect yourself, respect your bodies, know what works for you, and don't crack under, you know, anxiety and feeling like you have to please other people, because ultimately, like, you know, I've had some friends in the past, and people I've known that have encouraged me to eat or to drink just to make themselves feel better, you know, because I was always, like, a smaller person, and so some of my friends that I'm no longer friends with weren't, and they would pressure me into, like, you know, drinking with them and eating, and like, you can eat more and you can drink more and you can do this, and like, I realized how miserable they were and that I was leading a healthy, happy life. And so it feels really good because I feel like I'm getting back to that point now. Okay, fine, I'll just go on an off tangent because this is the raw vlog, so what do you want from me? I'm the kind of person that likes to eat sporadically, in a sense, meaning that I eat what I'm in the mood for. So if I'm craving fruit and I want to eat, you know, strawberries and figs for lunch, I'm going to friggin' do it, and I'm going to enjoy it, you know? And when it comes to working out, I'm going to do what I actually want to do. And I realized that when I was the fittest and the happiest in my life, I wasn't following any, like, perfect structure. I'd have vegetables and hummus and pita for lunch, and that would be like the perfect lunch for me, and I'd love it. And, you know, some people could be like, oh, you need more protein, you need more of this, you need to eat this to be healthy, you need to have that, this is a miracle food. I'm like just twitching around like crazy. But point is, like, you really have to do what's right for you. And ever since I've been eating more fruit, I've been feeling more like just happier. I've just been smiling more, and I've been feeling more like, and I haven't been having bad crashes or anything either. It's been very sustainable and very good in my body. And I've been learning, like, what I needed to do to feel good. And honestly, like I said, the times I've been feeling the most fit and the happiest in my life, I wasn't following any structured workout routine. I wasn't following any structured eating plan. I was just doing what was right for my body, what felt right. And I would get the results, you know, and everyone would be like, what are you doing? And honestly, I was just listening to my body and being intuitive. So that's what I'm doing recently, just to pull it all back together here. When it comes to alcohol and stuff, I just haven't been, you know, drinking as much because it just doesn't feel good. When, you know, 5 years ago, I would go and I would drink under pressure, because other people said that's what you do to have fun and stuff. And that was the worst, lowest point in my life. And so I never want to go back to that. I want to just do what I want. And if that means having a glass of wine here and there, fine. But I'm just not going to have, you know, if I'm out somewhere and someone says, you want alcohol? I'm not going to say yes if I don't feel like it, because doesn't work very well with my body chemistry. Too much sugar, too much alcohol in my body, not a good thing. And when I say sugar, I mean added sugar. I can have fruit and feel fine, but you know, sodas and like really processed things, I know myself. I know myself, and I think it's very important to be true to who you are. So anyways, guys, that's enough of a rant. We're 10 minutes in here. I hope you precious gems are doing well. Thank you for watching this video, and I will speak to you all very soon. Bye, guys.